It usually make the headlines when there was just one apartment complex turned into foreclosure. But nowadays, in the last maybe 10 months or a year, over a year, even there are 10 properties turned into foreclosure. Nobody talk about it. Today is the second Tuesday of November 2025. There are 18 properties close to 4,500 units fell into foreclosure. And I'm taking you to the foreclosure happening today to see the whole situation. Here in Harris County, Texas, a lot of investors, including the institutional investor groups, they used to like to invest in the multifamily in Texas because the cash flow are way much better here. And now they are the graveyard of broken performer. And also everyone probably knew that from 2010 to early 2022, multifamily of the U.S. was the most wealth builder assets for a lot of investors, including us, because we could get cheaper debt than single-family rentals, and also souring rents and endless syndications made the apartment investment sound foolproof. A lot of investors got into the multifamily. A lot of investors make a lot of money back in those days. Then in the last 5 or 6 years, more and more investors got into multifamily. But now this kind of assets don't generate that much wealth. I invested in one of the multifamily as an LP back in 2020, late 2020 or early 2021. The property is in Pasadena, near Houston area. And guess what? The occupancy of September 2025 was 75%. Why? Because in the past few years, there were a lot of new constructions going around and came into the market each month. So actually, one of the people we knew back in 2015 or 2014, he used to buy a lot of multifamilies. He did a lot of syndication. And we just knew that three of his deal, about 300 units, turned into foreclosure today here. And I just saw him. We show up here. I bet a lot of his investors are not here. And just like what I just said, a lot of new constructions are here and a lot of properties are facing the occupancy issues. A lot of properties are falling down to 90% nowadays. If your property is 85%, you are in a really good position if you were able to keep at 85% nowadays. But some of the properties, their occupancy is just about 80%. And on top of that, you have to give a lot of concessions to keep up your occupancy. For example, a lot of properties that you have to offer 1 month, 2 months, even sometimes 3 months of free rent just to keep up the occupancy. But what's the point? If you cannot collect rent at all, then why would you move people there? Because we just recently saw a competitor to one of the property that we manage here in Houston. They offer from October, they offer almost 3 months free of rent, that any resident move in October, they don't have to pay their rent till January. So what's the point? Like, they could damage your property and you also have to pay the utilities of those occupied units if they're not paid. And then a few months later, they probably would move out and go to find another place that could offer 2 or 3 months free of rent for them. Those renters that they can move in without any cost. Personally, I really don't like to do that. And the truth is about the properties, the multifamily properties in the current market right now. Most of the properties under foreclosures, they are 70s, even 60s or 80s vintage. And because they got into foreclosure, there are a lot of deferred maintenances that you need to take care after you take over the property. And a lot of them, they are not even worth the balance of the loan right now. We also saw some of the properties, their balance of the loan was over 200K a dollar, 100K a dollar. They're probably just worth 50% of those loan balance. So if you could get the price at 50% or maybe 60% of the loan balance, then you might be able to make money, not guaranteed though. So that's why we said even you are able to get access to some of those properties, you might not be able to make money depending on what price you could get from the loan balance. The property I just mentioned about that I invested in as an LP near Houston, Texas. That one, the issue of this property was not about the interest rate because it got an agency loan. So the interest rate wasn't an issue for this property. But the issue for this property is the location and then also the vintage of the property. It's the 60s product, and then it's only a 56 unit, 1960s construction that makes a lot of headache. Really, we have some properties at this vintage and a lot of shoreline issues, pipe, plumbing issues, and then also the leaking from the roof, from the pipe, and other issues too. So it's hard to make money. A lot of times expenses are so high, and also those are not the expected items. They are most of the time unexpected issues that you have to spend extra CapEx and that eat your cash flow, especially when you're already on the property for a few years, and that makes you suffer from the cash flow. There's no cash flow. I don't receive cash flow for these properties for a few years. Even worse, we had to do a cash call back in 2023. I contributed 10% more on the original invest amount I put there. So now one of the property loan balance is about 23.2 million. Now they can accept bidding from 12.2 million. So it's like just about half, 50%, 55% of the original loan balance. And the fact is that most of the lenders are not willing to sell those deals at discount of their loan balance. I think they're still trying to get as high as possible. I remember last month we saw a broker that we have done business with them for a few years, and they had a foreclosure, 150 units plus, and their loan balance was 70K per door, and they got the highest offer was 60K per door, and they asked us, should we accept? And we told them, yes, take it, because the longer you try to wait, the lower the value would be. So they took it. That means probably they got it 85% of their loan balance back, instead of maybe if they wait for another half year, that the value of the property would be just 50%. I think most of the properties right now, because of their vintage, you probably will have chance to make some money if you are able to get 50% or 60% of their loan balance, because they are sitting there for so long and the conditions of the properties are pretty bad already. But most of the lenders are still struggling. They're trying to get as much as possible. I think give them another half year or 1 year. They will take it, but by then the value of the properties would be even worse because there will be more deferred maintenance and the occupancies of those properties would drop a lot again. So it's hard to see the future of those properties.